Hello, everybody, and how are you doing? We're here to talk about the cardinal signs or the signs, the modes, and how people react. This is something I think is very important for people to understand regarding the signs, astrology, all the 12 signs. It'll help you to break it down and narrow down about people's actions, the way they act, okay? And the way it's broken down, it's cardinal, it's fixed, and it's mutable. These are the modes of how people react. Okay, we're talking about how people react regarding their astrological sign. Okay, so you can have a clear understanding or some type of understanding when you're dealing with astrology. So the three modes are cardinal, fixed, and mutable. They're the three modes. Okay. The word cardinal comes from the French, and that talks about cardo, meaning a hinge that that's on which something turns, like like there's a wheel, or like a screw, but you have to put it into something. That's the hinge, okay? That's the hinge. That's what a cardinal is. The cardinal directs, are the north, the south, the east, and the west, okay? They are the times when the seasons change. Say Aries is for spring, and Cancer is for summer. Libra is for autumn, and Capricorn is for winter. They therefore are times for a new beginning. Okay, that's where we get those major arcana cards from. It indicates the new beginnings, and it indicates the astrological signs that govern that. So now we're talking about how people's mode, okay, how they react to things under their astrological sign. Um, so the cardinal signs are the first, the fourth, the seventh, and the 10th. So that those astrological signs operate under Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. These signs are characterized by like enterprise, or like starting things. Uh, Sometimes Aries and Libra are called like the equinox signs, okay? And the Cancer and Capricorn are called solstice signs, okay? Equinoxes are times of perfect balance between day and night, night and day, the 12 hours long. The solstice times are the times of like the longest day, Cancer, and the longest night, Capricorn. Aries and Libra are times of balance. I hope y'all can understand what I'm saying. Aries and Libra are times of balance, but also times of abrupt change. So Cancer and Capricorn are times of extremes. And that word is the word fixed. Okay, let's talk about fixed now. The word fixed means security, placed and fastened, and it implies unchanging, fixed, something that sticks. You know how you take some glue, especially crazy glue. In the fixed signs, I'm gonna say crazy glue, because that's how a fixed sign mode is. Okay, in the astrology, it's like putting that glue. That's that fix, and snap, and putting something on it, and it just sticks there. It hardens and it stays. That's the fixed uh That's the fixed mode, okay, of a person and that astrological sign. The fixed signs are the second, the fifth, the eighth, and the 11th. And those fixed signs are governed by Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Now they're characterized by the keyword stability. Okay, when something sticks as a fixed sign, it's stable. a form, or it's a form and dependable. Okay, let's just say it's dependable, stability, dependable, reliable. Okay, so we know who those four signs are for that. Okay, we have the, well, okay, yeah, we have with the Aries, the Cancer, the Libra, and the Capricorn, which are cardinal signs. Okay, the Aries and the I'm sorry, the Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn are the equinox, or what we call the cardinal or immutable. Let's see what's here. Okay, let's see. Try to think of what I'm thinking. Um, let's okay. Let me see what I'm trying to say here. I'm trying to figure out a way where everybody got the. Okay, let's go like this. The cardinal. The cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Okay, that's the cardinal signs, and I already broke down what that actually means as far as somebody, the way they their mode. Okay, their mode. Okay, and could also mean the enterprise. Okay, so like Scotty Enterprise. Okay, now the fixed signs here are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. I already told you what fixed signs are. It's fixed, it's stable, it's stuck. Okay, it's not flexible. All right, it is what it is when it comes to these fixed signs. Now, the mutable signs, okay, now let's look at the mutable signs. The mutable signs are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Now, those mutable signs are people who adapt. You ever heard of chameleons? How, like, wherever they go, they turn into whatever it is that they're around, so they can stay so they could just be a part of it instead of like trying to fix it. They don't try to fix it. They just stay around it and change into that whatever it is that they're around. Not saying nothing's wrong with that, you guys, when I'm saying it, but I'm just saying that's what mutable signs do. Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, they are very adaptable to their environment. Okay, so the sequence of a cardinal: create, begin, fix, change, or maintain, and mutable: change to something else, and destroy. Okay, and destroy. See, mutable signs are a type that accepts change. Okay, whatever comes at them, they accept it, and they can move on to that change regardless. Okay, we're a fixed sign, as I told you who the signs are as far as fixed. They rather stay around and change what's around them rather than just leave. I hope that makes sense. That's what a fixed sign does. They rather just try to fix and change their environment rather than end it, destroy it, or leave it alone, or or adapt. I hope that made sense too. Okay, cool. So cardinal signs. The cardinal signs are associated with starting things, initiating things, or being enterprising. They are forceful and aggressive. Okay, the cardinal signs are forceful, aggressive, and they have the will to accomplish something, often something new. They pro, they project into the world. They're like creative, and in sense that they cause things to start things. They cause things in order to start things. Aries people will do this energetically. So a lot of Aries will energetically and urgently. I mean, they're kind of quick at whatever they want to do. Um, it's no time to think for them. They've already thought about it. So they have that energy. When they thought about something, they just want it to happen. They don't care how. They don't care when. They don't care nothing. As long as they thought about it, they're in pursuit. Okay, they cannot wait to do what they have in mind. Okay, that's what Aries will do. They can't wait to do what they have in mind. So it makes them aggressive. It makes them be of in urgent of things. They can be very impatient. They have that mindset to go do. They're motivated by their enthusiasm. That's a fire energy. They're very enthusiastic. Okay. That's where you get your fire energy in the tarot, okay, or into the astrology. It's about enthusiasm. Now, Cancer people are emotionally assertive, okay? So we know, Cancer is a water sign, okay? So Cancer people are emotionally assertive. They use their emotions for them to be moved. Okay? Fire signs are enthusiastic. They think of whatever they think about is of urgency to them. So they already thought about it, and people want, they just like gallop into it. They just go into it. There's no stopping them. They become impatient and they just go for it. Where Cancers will assert their emotions to be assertive. They protect emotion in a protective and sensitive way. Okay, and Libras, um, Libras do it in a balanced way, okay, considering the viewpoints of others, because they are people of air, okay? Aquarius, Gemini, Libra are air signs. They are more likely to project in a verbal way, okay? So it's all about communication when it comes to Libras. They talk that talk, okay? Air signs are very verbal, very verbal. Where again, you're dealing with a water sign such as Cancer is emotionally. So they're emotional. They're driven off their emotions. And the fire signs are driven off of their fire, their enthusiasm, what they already, they're very gun ho about things. Okay. Now what I'm talking. Okay, now because they are people of air, which I just said, they are more likely to project it in a verbal way compared to the Aries who take action. Okay, there's action for the Aries on their enthusiasm. Libras tend to use their language to cause others to take the necessary action. So they're going to tell you what they want you to do. All right, they're going to voice their opinion to move things around them, where Aries will just take the action. They're not going to say nothing. They're just going to get on their little horse or whatever they do, and they just going to move on it. Libra is going to voice their opinion on what they want to happen. And Cancer is going to move on their emotions. They're going to look into your emotional side, being sensitive and, watery, that water emotional type action, to take action to do what they need to do. Okay, so the Capricorn. Okay, now we're going to get into the Capricorn. Capricorn projects in a practical, down to earth manner. It takes action based on practical need for a Capricorn and success. See, Capricorn has that grounded energy. They're like a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. That's the grounded energy in them. They take things on a practical level. But we're talking about, what right now we're just talking about the way people are, their modes, govern on their sign, and what is that sign's mode. So we already done went through that. Okay, that was that's the cardinal signs for you. They are the cardinal signs, and that's just a little insight on their mode and their and what makes them, or make others um in their mode, in the way they move in their mode. Okay, now we're going to go on to the fixed signs. The fixed signs are concerned with maintaining something like changing things. So they're the same as before, or stabilizing things. See, that's what I'm saying. Between fixed signs are stable instead of them battling. You ever notice, like, with fixed signs, they kind of like they stay there for the battle. They fight it out. You know what I mean? Instead of, they don't let nobody push them around. They fight it out. They stick to their guns, especially when it comes to um like what do they call, rebels. They're sort of rebels. They'll stick around for the fight, even if they get cut off, even if they fail. They want to say, at least I tried. Where, in other words, where you're looking at, like, the other ones that I just mentioned, some of their characteristics or their mode of what they'll do, uh um far as, taking action, hasty, just the signs that I just admit, they can run. They'll be quick to run, where fixed signs will be quick to stay and hang around and try to change it. Not saying it's, bad thing, because that's a good thing. Somebody who could stick around regardless of what's going on around them. They want to fix that atmosphere instead of leaving it, instead of trying to change things. Well, they'll try to change things governed on the situation around them, okay? But they are very stable. They're fixed. They stay around, and change appear to be contradictory sometimes. Like, imagine a house every day it gets untidy and dirty. In order to keep it in its normal state, it must be changed, clean, tidied, etc. So it remains the same. A body needs to be regularly fed and watered if it is to maintain its state of being alive. If it wants to stay alive, it's going to eat and drink, okay? There appears to be no change, because there is not a lot of change directed to maintain a state such as a clean house and a living body. Another example is a field. If the field is not maintained, lots of change, like plowing, setting seeds, weeding, etc. Then the field would disappear as natural reclaims it. Nature will reclaim it anyway. I'm sorry. What is fixed is the clean house, the living body, and the field. What is changed is all the things that keep, for example, a field and not a wilderness. A field, not a wilderness. Taurus wants to make the products of self. Sometimes material wealth, permanent and fixed. Okay, Taurians, which is Taurus, do not like changes in their wealth. You might think this is true of everyone. However, some people do not measure their lives by the wealth. They accumulate, and these people are far less upset than Tauruses are when their personal wealth is being threatened. Okay? Leo wants to keep it professional. I'm sorry. Leo wants to keep it personal power. Okay, it wants to be impressive, and it's creative, and it keeps the relationship with others. Okay, that's what a Leo wants to do, far as their action to their fixedness. Okay, how they in this fixed measure. Leo wants to keep its personal power. It's personal to them. It wants to be, it likes to impress, okay? And creative, and keep the relationship with others. They like to hang around, okay? How many of y'all know Leos, how they're there through thick and thin. I mean, and they're a buddy. They're somebody you can call on all the time, and they will be there, okay? Especially if you're a friend of theirs. They will be with you till the end. They'll give you their last. If you stay on board with them the way they're going to stay on board with you. They're going to stay on board even if you crossed it, Leos. Even if you cross them, if you apologize to them, they still going to have your back the same way they felt before. Okay, I just had to put that energy in there as far as what a Leo will do. Okay, it makes changes so it remains in its power state. That's what Leo do. It makes changes in order to stay in its power state. Pick up on the keywords, y'all. Okay, now Scorpio is a fixed sign as well in terms of their emotional reactions. See, they go on their emotional reactions because they're a water sign, but they're in the fixed element. Okay, they have a fixed reaction. Okay, and it feels more secure when they know what feelings others have. Okay, it makes them feel good when they can emotionally find out what others are going through emotionally, if that makes sense, because they go off emotional reactions. Okay, so I hope that can help you understand what Scorpio does. It feels more secure when they know what feelings others have. They have to know your feelings. If they don't know your feelings, they will it drives Scorpio crazy. Okay, because okay, now let's move on. Wait a minute, I'll talk about that later. Scorpio makes changes that is seek to know the deep emotions that others have, which motivates them. Okay, because their emotions motivate them by their emotions. See, water signs are motivated by their emotions. Fire signs are motivated by their actions. Okay, their enthusiasm. Earth signs are motivated by their practicality, the way they think. They have to think things over. Okay, so that's for the Scorpio in the fixed element. Now, Aquarius in the fixed element wants to keep their beliefs. Remember, when I'm saying each one of these, pick up the key word. That's how you get to read people. This is all psychology here that I'm talking. This is everything's based off of psychology. Everything is based off what you think about. Okay, and then the element, then we get into the signs and the 12 signs, the moon. So I'm just going like every week I'm going to come on here and do break this whole thing down when it comes to astrology. And it's stuff that I've been learning myself, and I find it quite interesting. And it can really help you know a person. You just there's certain things that you have to know about people in order to know them, and that's the problem with the world today. They so been so indoctrinated in something that really wasn't nothing. This right here is of the universe. Astrology is about the planets, the stars, the moon, the sun, and we react off of all of those things. So it is a big deal. This is where the truth really lies. This is how you can find your partner. This is how you can if you're with someone, you can kind of like understand them more. It's all about understanding why people react the way they react. It's a psychology thing. That's all astrology is, psychology. Astrology is psychology, you guys. Okay, now let's get on with Aquarius wants to know their beliefs, etc., concerning humanity. So Aquarians are fixed on humanity, the way humanity is being treated, the way people are being treated. Aquarius is fixed in that element because Aquarius, most Aquarius is under a fixed sign for humanity because they're the water barriers. They like to nourish the planet. Okay, that's their element. They like to nourish the planet. They like to fix things. Okay, they like things to go right. They're like they're rebels. They're high level rebels is what Aquariuses are. They're high level rebels, and they will stick to their guns. You ever been around an Aquarius and somebody, they see something happening to somebody that's not right? They will the ones be coming in there and they will defend it, whether they run off or run off before they get there. At least that Aquarius is going to stay no matter what. The Aquarius, that's why they're under the fixed element. But they're fixed. But check this though. They're fixed under humanitarians. That's what Aquarians are. They're humanitarians. They're fixed. They will stay around for a fight. Okay. and they will fight till the end. They're not going to run away, even if you kill them or they kill you. And that's just speaking, you know, in that's just speaking, using that as an example as how they are. Okay, Aquariuses seek to keep their friends. If they are revolutionaries, then they remain revolutionaries, as I just said. Aquarius will stick around for the fight. Okay, they will put up a fight. They will not run. No matter what nobody thinks about them, what nobody says about, they will not run. They are a friend and a confidant. Okay, that's what they are. That's what I mean by they're in a fixed element of revolution and humanity when it comes to people. Okay, now mutable signs. Now we're going to get into the mutable signs. Mutable signs are concerned with changing things into something else. Where the fixed will fight and not change, it will fight for change, okay? But the mutable signs change. They want to change things into something else. This is not transforming as much as it moving on to something else. The emphasis is on adaptability. That's what mutable signs are. They're adaptable in the sense that while the fixed signs resist change, and that's what they do, they resist change. Fixed signs resist the change. The mutable signs accept it. Okay, that's the difference between the two, being mutable and being fixed. Okay, the fixed signs resist change. The mutable signs accepts it. The mutable signs, that's why you have to be careful about certain things and certain energies in your life. You have to know what to accept and what not to accept too. That's what all this is about. That's why I'm breaking it down. The mutable signs end a cycle and lead on to the beginning of a new energy, shall I say. Gemini is a sign of air. Okay, just like Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. Okay, they're a sign of air. They're about communication. Therefore is concerned with communication, words, and the mind. That's an air sign for you. Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, breaking it down, it's about communication, words, what comes out of their mouth, and what they're thinking. What they think, it comes right out of their mouth. Geminis will adapt themselves to their environment and therefore not cause things to persist. While the fixed signs adapt to their environment, to their needs. Okay, so fixed signs adapt to the environment, to their needs, wants, and goals. That means they'll sit there and they will not move, because they will stay in that environment to their needs, to their wants, and their goals. And the mutable signs adapts their needs, wants, and goals to the environment. If the field grows weeds, they adapt themselves to them. And if the field becomes a wilderness, they adapt themselves to the wilderness. In this way, they cease to make the changes necessary to keep things as they are and allow almost any kind of change. This is true of all the mutable signs. This is not to say that mutable signs never resist change, or they never try to achieve goals at odds with the environment. But it is to say that they more likely to give up or to give in than the fixed signs are. Okay, the fixed signs will put up a fight, where the mutable signs will just go along with the program. That's basically what it is. Virgo is critical and analytical. In this way, Virgo brings an end, something which was previously believed. So Virgo is critical and analytical. And this way, Virgo brings an end, something which was previously believed. Like something that was previously believed, Virgo will step in and end that belief. Okay? And Sagittarius is the 9th sign. It is a sign of fire. We already know that much. We know about the fire signs: Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. Okay? While it is a seeker of knowledge, its key phrases like Sagittarius key phrases I know. I know. Sagittarius brings about the end of ignorance by discovering the truth. According to Sagittarius, so that seeks final knowledge. That's what they do. They seek that final knowledge and the end of knowledge. Okay. So they're in that bracket of the mutable signs, and that's how they react to things. All right. So a Pisces is in the mutable sign too. So Pisces brings about the end of emotions through dissolving it into the oneness of all things. Pisces is a trip. Um, they're emotional, okay? Emotional. They're always moving in and around things like a fish. Pisces, the fish. They're always moving around. They don't never stop. They're in and out, out and in, all around, keeping it going, keeping it moving, okay? So that brings the end of emotions through dissolving it into the oneness of all things. So they're moving around through all things, okay? Because they have that energy, that water energy, okay, that it flows. This is basically like going with the flow. That's what most of the mutable signs are. They go with the flow of things, okay? But breaking it down as I did with the mutable signs, I hope you can understand the different signs that's under each of these, the way they react to things and how they react to the environment, how that they're around. That's how they would react to things, and I hope all that made sense. So, the cardinal, the fixed, and the mutable. That's the modes of how people react, and I just broke it down, and that's the signs that in their reaction. I hope I hope that made sense, so you can understand more either about yourself and yours, what you're in this cardinal. I mean, in this these modes, so you can understand yourself, and so it can help you understand others. So, with that being said, I'm going to let you guys know. Leave your comments below. I'll talk to you guys another time as we continue on this journey of the real life. Not the fake one, not the made up one, not the religious one, but the spiritual one, which is real. Thank you guys. Take care. Goodbye.